Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday afternoon. I am headed home from work, but a little later than normal. I have a good hour, like an hour and 15 minutes later than normal. And that's because I had to run an errand. I had to just run over here to Whole Foods to pick up something after work. And whenever it was something I really needed. But anyway, so I wanted to get it before I got home. But whenever I make a stop, I always tell you that I have an hour commute going home, no matter what. But yeah. So what was I saying? I made a stop after work, went to Whole Foods, and so just in making that little stop, which probably was a good 15-20 minutes it took me to make, to do that, it puts the traffic back that much further. And so how you're driving and then there's traffic at a certain point. Well, the traffic would start a lot earlier if I had got on the road right after I made my stop. Anyway, long story short, I decided not to get right on the road to let some of that traffic clear out before I got on the road. So it's an hour and a half later, or hour and 15 minutes later, and I'm just getting on the road. And it looks like the traffic cleared up just a little. I mean, it's still gonna take me an hour to get home, but at least it's not gonna be quite as bad, So anyway, so I'm just getting on the road. I just uploaded a video while I was, sitting there. And then I took a little nap. But anyway, so today I just wanted to share, my job is so interesting sometimes. Sometimes it's not, But, so actually it started yesterday. Yesterday, one of my coworkers, me and her are really, we are really cool. She called me, or did she call me? Yeah, she texted me and said, let me know if you can talk. And yesterday I had taken off because I was, I was not feeling well. And I put that in another video. So I was like, okay, so we talked. She shared with me, some juicy little gossip in the office. So I was like, what's going on? One of our coworkers resigned. I was like, what? And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, a big part of me was like, oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Because, I'm sorry, but he just, since he's been there, he's a nice guy, like, as a person, as a human being, I like him. I got no beef with him as a human being. But just him and that, I don't think it was a great match for him in that office, in our office, And so I hope this new position that he's going to serves him well. I really do. So, so she told me yesterday, and she said, because you know how we do in the office. She's like, you can't act like you know. You have to pretend you don't know. And I was like, no problem. No problem. So, so I saw him today, And today's Tuesday, so it's not a lot of us in the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's just me, him, and another coworker. No, two other coworkers. Oh, excuse me. You know me and my yawning. Anyway, yeah. So I was talking to my other coworker who sits right across from him, and I was just gonna let him naturally tell, because the coworker who called me yesterday said he wants to tell me himself. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him that honor to tell me himself. So when I was talking with the coworker, I hate this light. When I was talking to the coworker today, right across from him in the cubicle, as soon as I finished with her, I was getting ready to go back to my desk. He was like, "Oh, I have something to tell you." And I'm like, "Oh, what? What you got to tell me?" Like I could have won an Academy, or oh, come on, dude. I could have won an Oscar for that one. I was like, "Oh, what do you have to, tell me?" And he's like, "I just wanted to let you know I gave my 2 weeks notice. I took another position, and I'm leaving." And I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Congratulations. Oh, I'm so happy for you. And so yeah, he shared that he is leaving in 2 weeks. And so this is the part that I thought was real interesting. And me and that same coworker who shared with me what was going on, she and I talked about this later. Like, I mean, hey, more power to you. You found something better. Good for you. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. So now keep in mind, again, I have a good strong hour. I have an hour commute coming home. And I never even knew the mileage. I really never did. I never looked at the mileage. I just looked at it's an hour. It's 26 miles from my job to my house, my apartment. 26 miles. Okay. So this gentleman, and let's give him a name. I like to give my when I talk about coworkers and whatnot, I like to give them a name to protect the innocent. You know what I mean? Let's call him Mike. We're gonna call him Mike. So again, my commute, 1 hour every morning and in the evening. Although the evening is definitely a rougher commute than the morning. The morning is great, but the morning is, fine, because I leave early enough that I avoid, the heavy traffic. So I have a 26-mile commute. At an hour. He took a job because I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Mike took a job that is 50 miles away from where he lives. 50 miles. 50 miles. Again, I drive 26 miles every day, each way. So that's 50 miles round trip. He's going to be driving 50 miles each way. So 100 miles a day. Okay. And so here's a couple other things I'll add. So right now, he lives, I think he lives within a block, or let's say 2 blocks. Let's give it 2 blocks of the office. He lives 2 blocks from our office, right? 2 blocks. I mean, not 2 long blocks, not 2 huge blocks, two blocks, regular little blocks from the office. I think some days he walks, I think some days he drives, but he lives 2 blocks from the office. And he's usually a good, strong 15 minutes late every day. 10 to 15 minutes late every single day. Okay? Every single day. Right? So now he took a job that is 50 miles away. Excuse me. 50 miles away. How in the world are you going to get there on time when you can't even get to the job 2 blocks away on time? And okay, let's do the math. If they paid you double your salary that you're making now, would it be worth? Would it even be worth it at double the salary? You know, like, you are gonna spend, I'm estimating it's gonna take him 2 hours each way. That's my estimate. He's saying it's gonna take him an hour. I mean, I'm familiar with the area where he's gonna be working. It's a ways away from where we work. And he's a very last minute guy. Like I said, he's got to leave his house at the time he's supposed to be at work in order. How could you be late and you're 10 minutes away? How? So he has no sense of time. And you took a job that's he's 20. He's in his mid 20s. I think he's like 26. And no disrespect to any young person in their 20s. We were all in our 20s at some point. But I don't get it. I mean, even like I said, if you right now, if you told me you're gonna double my salary, I'm gonna make well over 6 figures, I'm gonna make, whatever. You're gonna give me a company car, you're gonna give me whatever. you can't pay me to drive 50 miles one way and 50 miles back a day. And I asked him, do you have any remote days? No remote days. And we, again, we have one remote day a week. No remote days. Every day in the office. I don't get it. I mean, I live here in New Jersey. It's a lot of people that live in New Jersey. They commute into the city, what we call the city, which is New York. That, for me, is not, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't commute into the city. I mean, I'm talking, what, 30 years ago? I worked in the city. And it was cool. It was cool back then, you couldn't pay me today to work in the city. You could not pay me to take a train, plane, automobile to get to the city every single day. Could not pay me, because the most important thing about working in someplace very far from where you live is you can't get that time back. That if it's gonna take you, let's say it takes him an hour and a half every day each way, you can't get that back. Now you can be strategic and you can put some audio books on your commute and all of that, and that's great, and educate yourself and talk to your significant other or whatever you want to do. But ain't no way. Ain't no way. And my coworker, who me and her were talking yesterday, we were gossiping, basically. We were gossiping about the whole situation. We were saying that, we're older. We've been through stuff. And we know what that's going to look like. It's going to look crazy. What happens on a snow day when the company doesn't close and you got a 2-hour commute? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But it's not for me to, the only advice I gave him, I said, because I have a, long commute, I said, this is how I mentally deal with it. I get up super early in the morning. I leave my house so that I cushion in an hour. And so that the plan is that I arrive at work an hour early. So therefore, I don't have the traffic in the morning. I can just smoothly drive to work. And so mentally, I'm in a good headspace at that time. In the evening, that's when I have my traffic. And I'm okay with that because I'm going home. I don't want to have that traffic when I'm going to work, because then it's going to have me all, but I'm going home. So anyway, I just thought that was real interesting that he took this job, that's so far away. But I wish I genuinely, like, I'm gonna be honest, like I said earlier, me and this young man, we didn't always see eye to eye. We kind of, bumped heads a little here and there. I mean, but he always had respect for me, and same with him, you know, but we just saw things a little different. But and when I first heard that he was leaving, I was like, oh great, you know, that's good news. You made my day telling me that. But then when I hear the whole thing, I genuinely feel, you know, I feel a little bad, you know, because I know that, you know, that's gonna be a disaster. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a disaster. And my coworker was saying she believes she knows the company. Well, she believes she knows the company, and she's like, they think, a couple of my coworkers actually think the company is a scam, or yeah, they don't think it's a legit company, or yeah. I hope that he, you know, does well, and it all works out in his favor. But you know, I really do. Anyway, have a great day. Don't forget to like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. God bless. Have a great day.